Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to my office. Have had a couple of requests on how I make the clear dividers. I personally laminate a full sheet of a laminating pouch and put it on my cutting mat and do it on my Silhouette. But not everybody has a Silhouette. So if you do not have a Silhouette and you want to make clear dividers, you can still do it. It's actually pretty simple to do. It was kind of like one of those aha moments for me. I ran around town looking for some kind of clear plastic, lightweight plastic that I could use. Thought about like clear pocket envelopes, just all kinds of craziness. And then I'm like, okay, come on, Erin, what's your absolute most favorite thing that you have bought and that you use on a regular basis when setting up your planners? My laminator, because y'all know I'm the laminating queen if you've seen some of my other videos. So I played with it a little bit. Before I got the Silhouette, the way that I made them was so simple. I went in and I downloaded the free software from Silhouette. It's very, very easy. It's the Silhouette Design Studio. It's free. You can download it, you can print things out, and you can cut them out by hand. So we're going to assume that you do not have a cutting machine and you want to make these. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it, and I apologize, I didn't pull a divider out. You can laminate a piece of your laminate, lay your pocket down on top of it, and then use a thick black Sharpie and outline it, and then come back and cut it out by hand. You can do it that way. Or you want to make an oddball sized pocket. Let's say you want to do one you've seen in some of my other planners where sometimes I just do like a little small half size and then I put a tab on the side just to mark a certain place in my planner. Or I'll make it a weird size to hold just some sticky notes or to put something on the top of it. Those kind of things you can do in Silhouette and print them out and use a template. Okay, Erin, I have no idea how you made that template. So to make this template, let's switch over really quick to the laptop and I will walk you through how I made this template. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in the video that you're about to watch, I used red, and when I went to print it, my printer is running low on red ink, so my lines were very faint. So I went back and changed my line thickness a little bit and changed my ink color to black and reprinted it. So let's jump over to that video really super quick. All right, hopefully this is recording everything that it's supposed to be recording. So we're going to go into our Silhouette software. Very simple, very easy. I love the software. It's free. You can use it, like I said, without your machine. You're going to come over here to the draw box. You're going to draw it to the size that you need. I like rounded corners on mine, so a lot of times I'll use the rounded, and then I will come back in over this box and line them up so they are nice and pretty and round corners now. Again, you're going to make these to the size that best fits the need that you have for your planner. So these are not an actual size for an insert. I have a spare piece of laminate that I'm going to be using to make these. All right, then to add the tab, I like my tabs rounded. I always start at the top. And if you zoom in, oops, that's out. There is a ruler. There you can also turn the grids on, but it shows you that my tab is the approximate size that I need it to be. And I'm going to position it here. And then if I'm making multiple tabs, I'm going to come in and duplicate it. I'm going to pull that whole thing. Oops, and I just messed up. Okay, so back to my first tab set the way that I want it. I'm going to weld that together. Oops, I need to unweld it. My line wasn't straight. So you can see when you weld it if your lines are lined up or not. There we go. Now it looks lined up. Haven't had quite enough coffee. And then I'm just going to line this up here. And I'm going to take my next one, and I'm just going to line it up if I want them to be like that, or if I want them to overflow like that, or however you want to do it. But I just come in and do them all that way. Then I grab that next one and move it over and weld that one together. So that's just a quick and easy way to get a template. So depending on your size, you can get 1 or 2 per page. Then you are going to want to just come up and print it. Of course, if you have a cutting machine, you're going to want to turn on your cut marks and come in and make sure all of that is set up. So if I were sending this to my machine, I would need to bring this in just a tad bit. Actually, I wouldn't have to turn any of that on because I would just send it to the paper source that I want. Oops. Okay. So that reminds me, nifty little thing. You want to come into the line tool. Print lines. So you want to print those outlines. I knew there was something I was forgetting. That's why we do this. I should name these, instead of DIY tutorials, it's like, hey, learn what not to do. All right, so now you can print it, and let me reprint that really quick. And your lines will show up on your page. All right, let's go back to the next step, y'all. All right, we know how to make the templates now. It was one of those epiphany aha moments, and we've got it done. So how are we going to hand paint it or hand cut it? Now, I did not do an entire sheet. This is just some remnants from something else that I used. If you're making smaller pockets, you can do that. Y'all know I am the queen of keeping the scraps. You got to keep the scraps. You need your scraps. So, couple of ways you can do it at this point is just take your Scotch tape, tape it down so it doesn't move around on you, and start hand cutting those suckers out. I personally could not cut this out with a pair of scissors to save my life. So if you have long straights that you need to cut out, I personally do it on a cutting board. And I will come in and just cut my long straights. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm going to end up cutting my stuff. So I would probably honestly use washi, because sometimes this clear tape, sometimes the clear tape isn't really easy to pick off, especially if you're hard at seeing little things. Like, we all know I struggle with my vision. So, and you can see when you go to pull it off, it gets a little messy. So The other option that makes it really easy, and it's really easy to come off, is just anchor it with a piece of scrap washi. And that'll hold it, and the washi is so much easier. Oh, look, I pulled it out of the camera view. The washi is so much easier to come off. And then, as you're starting to come around it, now, if you're cutting them by hand, I do recommend using a small pair of scissors. And again, if you wanted to add top tabs or, you know, a fun, funky design to represent a specific place in your planner, you can do that. And now you have a clear divider. So last step is to punch it to fit your planner. And you're good to go. So quick, easy, simple DIY, fast, super, super easy dividers. So hope you've enjoyed it. If you enjoy watching these tutorials, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Of course, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Until next time, remember, we all got a plan. We just do it a little bit differently.